Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Like I, of all people, need any kind of distractions, but I got to share one with you. Have you ever walked past your stash wall or pile or whatever it is, and of hundreds of models, and it doesn't matter if you have 5 or 5,000, one stares at you, one taunts you. I can walk past a wall and the only model I see is this one. It was a gift that was given to me back in October at Acme, and it's a model I built as a child that I have no clue where the other one was. And I did a video a long time back about, I'd like to build this. And my good buddy Jeff Elliott brought it to me in Atlanta, and this thing has haunted me, and I must say, haunt me no more. I got to do something about it, so stick around, I'll share it with you. If you've been around hot rods, race cars, show cars, and custom cars for as long as I have, you'll know the names Tom Daniels, Carl Casper, George Barris, just to name a few. There was a lot of custom car designers out there back in the 50s and 60s. And they could come up with some creative stuff. You see here the popcorn wagon. I think this was a Carl Casper. And fortunately, there were a lot of model kits. Tom Daniels stuff, I think I built about everything that he ever did because they were just cool. Same thing with many of these. I used to love when I'd find some of these new ones. Here's the bathtub buggy. I love the sink up front that's right in front of the radiator. Just all the fixings and fixtures out of a bathroom and make a car out of it. And that was actually a monogram kit. Then you had the vending machine, which was a Coke machine. And these things to me were just really cool at the time. But two of my favorites were the bed buggy by George Barris, and this was a bed, had a Corvair engine on the back, and had a lot of the like bedroom fixtures and stuff. You got brass footboard and headboard. You had a canopy on the top, which it was just, to me, it was just cool because it was different. The thing I remember the most about this was the fuel tank back there, right in front of the engine, and the blanket on the bed, the kind of leopard print stripy thing, was a peel and stick, real fuzzy. Well, I don't know what it was, but it was actually kind of cool once it was put together. I wish I still had those kits. But the other one that I always thought was cool was, and you Gen Zers may not remember what or know what a telephone booth was. These things were all over the place. This is before cell phones were ever dreamed of. And if you needed to make a phone call from anywhere, you could just walk over, open the door, it would swing open, you step in, and you put a dime in the telephone, which later went to a quarter. And before they had the push-button phones, you dialed the number. It was a rotary phone. And when you got in there and closed the door, you had a little counter, so if you need to write something down, you could. There was a telephone booth hanging underneath the telephone. And with the door closed, the light would come on up top, and you could eliminate weather. You could eliminate the traffic or any noise outside with the door closed. So you had some sense of privacy there too. Well, Carl Casper took a telephone booth and a 23T and put the two together. And this, I always thought, was a really cool show car. It was very unique. It was very different. Here it is in a show. And I just thought this thing was cool. And I had mentioned in the video that the bed buggy and the telephone booth were the ones I had the fondest memories of. In fact, this thing was so popular that I had painted mine Testors dark, or just regular blue, kind of a dark blue. And as you see here, which when I was pulling these pictures up to share with you, I found this. I've never seen this before, but there's a blue one. But that was kind of cool. But anyway, this is just a cool kit. And as I said, Jeff Elliott walked up to me there at Acme and said, I've got a gift for you. I want you to have this. And he handed me an unbuilt new kit. And every time I walk by the wall, this one kit is the only kit I see since October. It has haunted me and haunted me. Today I walked by and it's like the only thing I see on that wall. So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to build it. It's a very, very low parts count. I'll share a few things with you I'm going to have to change, which are not going to be a big thing. But I won't, for the sake of nostalgia, since I found my first trophy that I shared with you a while back, I think this would look good in my collection of builds. So I want to add it real quick, and I want to try to knock this out really quick. So let me turn the camera around. We'll take a look at the box. All right, guys, let's take a look at Carl Casper's telephone booth. This, like I said, is just cool to me. It's just one that's been around a long time. Let me get this box top off, and I'll share a few things with you. A couple things I'm going to have to change. We'll take a look at those in there. The firewall here, you see that's like polished aluminum or chrome. The kit does not come with that, so we're going to be making a change there. And notice the valve covers. This is an old 392 Hemi, so it's not, the valve covers aren't quite as high, and the distributor's in the back, so it's the old style Hemi. But we'll be correcting that. We'll probably have to change out the valve covers. We'll take a look at that. Other than that, I may put photo etch wiper blades on it, and I may just clean those up. But isn't that cool? Great looking profile. The decals were not in this box, so I'm going to have my daughter Lauren make these out of vinyl transfers. And this one actually has a little stool to sit on. And your lantern lights and turn signals. Nice looking set of Kragers. And let's take a look. As I said, this is a very low parts count. So we've got a very simplified engine. The chassis is actually made of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 5 components if you don't count the tires and wheels. And they're pretty simple too. And then the telephone booth itself, you put that together. There's the stool, the telephone. Pretty simple. And then when you're finished, that gives you kind of a look. And I'll probably paint that just the aluminum, because that's what most of the framework was an aluminum with the red. And some of them had blue around them. And as you see, this is pretty simple. And that's pretty much the whole kit. The chrome, I'm probably going to use my Revell chrome spray and redo all this. You can see down into the wheels there, some of the chrome did not make it all the way into the depths of the wheels. And you can see a lot on the back that just didn't get that. But with what we have nowadays, the foot gas pedal, I may be changing that over to the photo etch version that Detail Master makes. And there's your, I want to say blower hat, but the scoop for the injectors where they go up in it, and you can see where there's a lot of white on those too. So, and those fire dome valve covers, which will be, like I said, we'll probably swap these out. There is that chassis and fenders all built into one. And again, this is just 5 pieces to the chassis. Top. And I've got some of that tread plate I may put up there, and I may change the floor pan as well. I'm not sure yet if I'll do tread plate on that or not. I may on just a portion of it. I'm not sure. The back where the fuel cell is. All the clear parts are in pretty decent shape. They need to be polished up, so I'll use some Novus on them. But the great thing with this is like 30 thousandths, I think. It's not a big deal. I've got, I think, 10, 20, and 30 thousandths in evergreen sheet plastic anyway, so I can change that if I can't clean it up. But I'm pretty sure that's going to clean up pretty nicely. And then you've got the panels for the doors. Headlight lenses, all of the other components for the phone booth. And again, this will just be painted probably, to me, silver leaf or aluminum. There's that firewall I told you about. We'll have to take all that off, smooth it down. No big deal. And the rear axle and the front straight axle, leaf springs, all this stuff. I'm going to go back and do this stuff in chrome. It is a show car. In fact, I'll probably assemble the engine pretty much all the way through and then hit it in chrome as well. The other door there. The telephone. And yeah, there's all the pieces for our stool that sits in there. Most phone booths did not have a place to sit because you weren't in them usually. Well, I take that back. I've been in some at the airport that had places to sit in them. And there you go. I have a 3D printed piece that I may do that with. There is one part, the windshield portion, that I'll probably change. You see where one of the tires. And guys, if you ever get a kit and the tires are loose, make sure that the plastic, or excuse me, the clear parts have been in, or in some plastic or separated from the rubber. As you can see where these have laid on them and how it's left an indentation in that. Sometimes you can sand that out and buff it out. I'm not sure. That one's pretty deep. I may give it a shot anyway. But not a big deal. And on the tires, I'm thinking these are M&H Racemaster. The ones on the car that I saw at a car show actually had Goodyears on them, and we do have the pad printed from AMT tires that we can put on there too. So we may be switching those out. But there'll be a lot of chrome on this one from the show car standpoint. And that's it, guys. I mean, there's just really not a whole lot to it. I'm looking forward to this. And it will, like I said, haunt me no more. Or hopefully it won't. Like I needed any other distraction, but I thought, you know what? I've looked at this thing for roughly 7 months, and it is just, okay, I got to do it. But I'm looking forward to having some fun with it, too. Don't know if it'll be ready for Simpsonville. I'm not building it to show. Like I said, I'm building it more for just my own, for me. But if it gets done, I may share it. Guys, head over to HobbyNut Models. Check out the inventory. Pick you up some tools, paint, whatever you need. Doesn't matter if you're military or a car modeler. Mark's got it all. Guys, God bless. I'll see you in that next video. Thanks, guys.